it's a good forward swing. So the satellite is like the Browning, a separate transmitter and a receiver. Is that correct?
Yeah, separate transmitter receiver, and it does not have a speaker. You have a speaker box with a transmit and receive light on that also.
All right. How neat. That makes for an impressive setup on the radio table. And on this end, it makes for an impressive setup for listening in on the headphones. Radio number 5, classic radio. If you have a chance to search DEMCO satellite, take a look at it. You will be impressed. If you are not impressed already with the way it sounds, give us another transmission, Bill. Thanks for bringing by the Demco tonight. We're listening.
All right, thank you there, Dennis. I'll warm another one up there to check in.
Yeah, the Demco. Those are one of those radios that I could get into for a net control station for those long key downs. And now this one is, I've got things wired up on the audio, and we're hoping it'll hang in there tonight. It's trying to. If I don't wiggle it too much, it'll work. You're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. Real radio's glowing in the dark, and we're standing by listening.
Frank OTR.
And Phil is back with another selection. Your radio number 6. Go ahead.
Thank you, Dennis. This is 56 with a Siltronics 1011 Bravo. There is supposedly an elusive Siltronics plane. I have yet to see one, and if I do, I'll scarf it up. But this was another relatively raw production model, the Siltronics 1011 Bravo.
All right. And, yeah, those things were definitely the sideband radio and a little bit of finesse. And proper carrier insertion got you on the AM mode as we're hearing tonight, the 1011B. Now, is that the one with the dreaded? And I came across these the other day on a piece of equipment I had, and after searching for the tubes, I about fell over. The ones with the 8950s, over?
No, the Swan 1011 and the Siltronics 1011 Bravo have all of the 6 something or other tube. The Charlie and the Delta series have the ever popular 8950 final.
Okay, well, back in 1969, the 8950 was probably $8. And then something happened. Let's go, 30 years later, and something happened. And they became made of unobtainium. And the prices went up to, $60, $70 a tube, maybe even more than that. So, all right, that's a good thing. Definitely putting out a bang-up signal here, and lots of forward swing on the audio. What microphone do you use with the 1011B, and is it similar to what you used on the 1011 from the Swan? Over.
It's the exact same D104 with the what is it, Tug 6 or whatever it is, standard type microphonium.
Okay, interesting, because this does sound, has a lot more low frequencies to it. But I think that if it's the same microphones, obviously, then the way the radio is tuned. So interesting. But lots of audio coming out of that. Radio number 6. The next in the series. Well, I guess there was one before that too. But one of them, let's put it this way, one of them in the multiple series between the Swans and the Siltronics, sounding good for Radio 6 at 8:53. Back to you, Phil. Give us another transmission on the Siltronics 1011 Bravo. We're listening.
Station on the side. Yeah, station. Dennis will pick you up here real quick. Yes, indeed. It is very, very similar to the Swan. The exception one of the exceptions being is that the Siltronics Bravo has a spot switch where the Sloan 1011 does not. However, both of them are probably, by the quick glance, you wouldn't notice the difference between the two of them. A greater production, of course, was within the Charlie and the Delta model. Anyway, you've got a station waiting for you, Dennis, and back to OTR.
All right, thank you, Phil. Siltronic sounding good. The old Tube Radio Network real radio's blowing in the dark. Station on the side. It is your turn. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Dennis. The 145. I think I was prompted in, but here I am in person.
All right, that's a good thing. Let's head over to the shortwave listener side, and indeed we'll switch the proxy to an official X in the square. Those playing the home game know that's a Gentleman Jim, and you're sounding good on the old Tube Radio Network tonight.
Well, we definitely thank you guys. Catch you later. Bye-bye. 35.
And hang on the top of the radio here. I think it's still working. 35. Go ahead. Over.
Yeah, I want to check in Buddy RC11B. Buddy B.
All right. Bill is bringing out the big guns tonight. The Buddy Biggs, the RC11B, I guess, and TX11B, and okay, here's another one. Everybody thinks of the Eagles as the transmitter receiver type radio, and they are, but there were others, as demonstrated. Radio 5, the Demco satellite, of course, and Radio 7, the Buddy Biggs. Give us another transmission.
Yeah, this is also a separate transmitter receiver with a separate speaker with a big red on the air right in the middle of the speaker box.
All right, not sure if it was like a one-upmanship or what have you. Not the most popular configuration of radios to not be a transceiver, but very in line with amateur radio gear of the 50s when that's what you had as a receiver and a transmitter, and you paired them together. The Buddy Biggs, coveted by many, owned by few, and it had some really nice and bodacious modifications that could be made. Not that it really needed them, but you could do that. Just add a little bit more for that one sounding nice. What microphone are you using?
I got a D104 with a harp head on it.
All right, sounds good. Real easy and smooth modulation, and those being plate modulated can scream when they want to, but I looked over at the meter, and even easy going there, the thing is still swinging quite nicely. RC11B, the receiver, the TX11B, and I guess like the Demco, that also has an external speaker?
Yeah, an external speaker, and right in the middle of the speaker, when you key up, you got a big red on the air, which goes all the way across the speaker, and it's got the big 4x6 speaker in there.
All right, that's Uptown Below in the Dark Radio, radio number 7858, taking us into the second hour of your old Tube Radio Network, blowing in the dark, sounding good. Thank you, Mr. Bill. Let's go back to you for another key down on the infamous Buddy Bass, and it's definitely sounding good.
All right, thank you there, Dennis.
D84.
And our first radio of the second hour, right at 9 o'clock, 84. Hello, Jerry. Tell us what the microphones connected you tonight.
Well, good evening, Dennis. This non-powered D104 is hooked up to the executive, the Robin T240D, courtesy of the Mountain Maid. We should have to be doing about, about 3 3/4 watts and the swinging a little bit there, so hopefully we're not overdriving anything. Over.
No, not at all. For an unamplified microphone, not at all. Very nice audio. Those listening on the Universal Media Netweb at WWVLFradio.com are saying this is what this is why people have been doing this for 26 years to get that tube radio sound from Robin. I guess their final and top of the line tube radio, the 240D, produced when the FCC banged the gavel and said, "Okay, we'll make it official. You can have your crystal-controlled 40 channels," and Robin hopped to it there, and the T240D was produced. Back to you.
Yes, sir. Well, this one's a clean little radio. She really likes it, but she's watching the movie, so we thought we'd come in here and have fun with it this evening. And one comment about that Swan tubes there, the amp tubes there, they are the 6H F5, and of course the 8950s, as you mentioned, were the Siltronics. The Swans, the 500 I know over here has the 6H F5s. Over.
Okay, let's see, the 500. All right, well, I think the 500 definitely has a little bit more beefier output. You know, I want to say HF5. Is that a sweep tube? So you're going to be running, what? I don't know what it's driving, but probably running at least 2 of those or more. And I bet your Swan face or faceplate is probably very, very similar. Swan had, in the 60s, there a very uniform look to them between even the Siltronics radios. If you were familiar with Swan, you would say, that's definitely looking like a Swan. Thanks to the Mountain Maid for providing the radio, and thanks to you, sir, for providing the voice for radio number 8. Very nice audio. Don't know if you have a chance to listen in on the internet there, but from what I'm hearing on my end, sounding good. Give us another transmission.